Hi everybody, I'm Alexander Sid, your host of Caption Live Show, and welcome to episode number 15. Today I will share with you some of my favorite tricks of working with Photoshop and Capture One. We will talk about tools like Edit With and Open With, and how to make like a round trip editing from Capture One to Photoshop, and like from Photoshop to Capture One again. Well, we'll talk about a lot of things today. I see lots of people online. It's so awesome, folks. It's really cool. It's really cool to see you there. And I see questions from Alex. Alex is asking, maybe in the future you can make an episode about tethering with Capture One. For sure, like 100% guarantee that this will be one of topics for the future episodes of Capture One live show, because well, tethered shooting is one of the best features of Capture One, but I just wish to prepare a little bit better for such a really important topic. And like, my idea is to make something new. You know, the point is that actually we're almost in the end of the first season of the show. The thing is that I'm planning a vacation in beginning of the autumn. I will fly to Sicily for almost a month in September, and well, like August, it will be like the last month of Capture One live shows in this season, and later in autumn we will start like a new season of the show, and I hope we will implement some new great features. Maybe we will run the show from different locations, maybe from some photography studios to illustrate tethered shooting better. And I hope I will invite some guests to the show. By the way, you can just write some suggestions which photographers you would like to see in my show. Anyway, I think the second season will be even better. Stuart is writing, hey, hi Stuart. Okay, and what we have on Facebook? Yeah, we have some people on Facebook as well. There, see, yeah, guys, you're on Facebook. You're just sitting silent, right? Just like okay, I will watch your show, but you know, like no one would know that I'm watching your show because I'm watching it silently. Man, you can just like write something like, "Hi, Alex." Like, "Hi, I see you there. I see that 4 people are watching this show right now." Just say hi or something, you know. Okay, let's make some regular stuff before we'll proceed to the like today's topic. First of all, if you or your friends or your family or your colleagues thinking of purchasing Capture One or any other Capture One products like Phase One styles, what else? Well, for example, Capture One multi-user license. In all these cases, you can save 10%. 10%, that's pretty fine amount of money, especially, for example, if you're buying this Capture One Pro Plus Styles bundle. Just click Buy Now and enter promotional code AMBC1 blog, click Apply. Ta-da! You're saving a lot of money here, and also you can save also 10% on the full license on Capture One Pro for Sony, Phase One Styles, all the upgrades, lots of things. Just feel free to share this information with your friends as well. And I have another great news for you. The point is that maybe some of you are subscribed to my newsletter, Alexandra newsletter, each week I'm preparing the new issue of my newsletter. For example, the issue of this week contains some tips on how to set up Caption preferences. I'm sharing some things about, for example, image preview size and some other things. Also, I'm sharing some interesting links, the regular stuff tip of the week, like lots of useful information, I can say, and also like a free raw file for every subscriber. Like each week, the new raw file, that's pretty awesome as well. It's absolutely free. All you need is just go to alexonra.com/newsletter and just subscribe. This is it. But this week I decided to run things even better. I decided to run like a giveaway. Not even a contest, but just a giveaway. All you need to do is to be subscribed to my newsletter. This is it. Just like if you are subscribed, you're like a part of the giveaway already. The point is that in 2 weeks, on August 2nd, I will just like choose one of the subscribers of my newsletter. I will just like choose from the list. I have the list, and I will present this person with an absolutely free lesson, online lesson with me about Caption. We will just talk on Skype or TeamViewer as you wish, like for an hour, and I will answer all of your questions about Caption. I can show you my workflow. I can even edit your images for the whole hour. Like absolutely free stuff. Like once again, if you're subscribed to my newsletter, you have a chance to win this absolutely free Skype lesson with me. Just subscribe, go to alexonra.com/newsletter, subscribe here, confirm your subscription, and it's very important. And this is it. And you can win this absolutely free lesson. Craig is writing highly. Thanks for your tutorials. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, and yeah, like the last thing, as like if you're thinking about to try some styles or presets for Caption, visit onestyles.pro, click try, and here you can download 12 styles, film styles for Caption, absolutely for free. And if you would like them, you can buy them, but you can use 12 styles absolutely for free. Just go to onestyles.pro/try and download it right now. Okay, and before we will start talking about the today's topic, today's topic is round-trip workflow with Photoshop. I wish to show you my editing of the raw file which was available for download in the previous issue of my newsletter. What we can do with this image from Baikal. Like, by the way, if you're planning to visit Baikal, I highly recommend you. That's a really beautiful place. And what we can do there. First of all, when you see images like this, always try to check maybe linear response curve. You see, it makes this image a little bit more interesting. And what I would do there, I would switch the basic curve to linear response curve. Then I will draw a gradient mask like this. Now I will use my limit curve, and I'm using limit curve here because I wish to preserve the saturation which this image already has, like without any additional saturation, without increasing of the saturation. That's why I will use the limit curve here. I will move the white point of the Luma curve, or it's even better. Oh no, levels. Yeah, the point is that the levels tool doesn't have has a Luma curve. That's why, yeah, that's why I will move my white point in the curve tool. Also, I will make a correction here and take a look now. You see, that's pretty interesting trick. I have recovered lots of information from the top of the image, and at the same time have like a depth, and in general the image looks pretty interesting. Maybe I will redraw my mask a little bit like this. Yeah, I think now it's even better. Also, I will create additional layer. I will draw a mask. I will not draw a mask. I will do differently. I have just created a new layer. I have on this empty layer. I can increase the clarity, and now I will draw, and I will immediately see the effect. You see the effect, and actually I'm drawing the mask as well. Yeah, this is how I sometimes work with layers. Like sometimes I'm just creating the empty layer, then I'm applying some adjustments to this layer, and only after this I'm drawing the mask, because like sometimes it's really more convenient. Well, and the final touch. Let's go to the background layer here, and the final touch, I will go to color balance, shadow section. Yeah, something like this. Like winter is coming. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good there. Chris is asking, is there a way to make a mask by luminance like in Lightroom? Well, by default, no, you can't create a mask from luminosity or luminescence of the image. But I have shown this trick a few shows ago. But let me replicate it again. That's like just pretty useful trick sometimes. For example, you wish to create a mask from the white background. Yeah, that's pretty difficult in case of this like particular image, and like in most of the cases it's pretty difficult to create a mask from the white background. What you can do, you can take the highlight tool on color balance and just tone the highlight areas into the, for example, green color. Now go to color editor, select green color, create mask from the green color, and let me see. Yeah, we have almost created the mask. Yeah, like there is like maybe we can do even better there. Let me think. Yeah, okay, let's just like let's create the mask from the green color again. Yeah, and now we can just like erase it a little bit like this. Yeah, usually it works, usually it works better, this trick. But let me find you maybe some better image. Yeah, maybe here. Let's try it there. Usually it works, but it works not always like perfectly. But let's use like magenta. Create a mask from magenta. Yeah, well, we have selected actually the highlighted areas. Now I can refine this mask and it will be much better. And like the only thing you need now is just to reset the color balance, and you just have the layer. Yeah, but I agree that these areas are not really highlights. Yeah, you know, in general, I totally agree that it would be great to have such a tool, but I just show you some, you know, like some tricks how to what to do if we don't have it right now. Okay, now let's talk about today's topic. Today we'll talk about round-trip editing from Capture to Photoshop, and how to work with Photoshop and Capture One together. Alex is asking, regarding today's topics, I have a few questions. Like, first, what is the best format to export the file to Photoshop? TIFF or PSD? That's a pretty interesting question, and the answer is totally depends on the version of Capture One you're working with. The point is that in old versions of Capture One, I'm talking about like Capture One 9 or maybe even Capture One, yeah, even Capture One 10. The point is that in the old versions of Capture One, actually, there were no difference between TIFF format and PSD format. Like, the only difference was that, like, well, TIFF format is like in generally more universal format than PSD, because like PSD is just like Adobe format. That's why like in 100% of the cases, it would be like a better decision to export your images to TIFF format. That's why, if we're talking about like the old versions of Capture One, but in Capture One 11 there is a difference, and now let's talk about this difference. Now let's see what you can do with PSD format in Capture One 11. First of all, before we will proceed to discussing this difference, first of all, let's see how you can like quickly like transfer your image to Photoshop, because there are few different ways for this. Actually, there are two ways. First of all, you need to understand really simple idea, and that's a really important idea, and lots of people, well, even some of the professional photographers, well, they actually have some problems with this idea. The point is that Photoshop, if we're talking about like Photoshop, I'm talking about like this app, Photoshop, not Adobe Camera Raw, for example. I'm talking about like Photoshop general like software. Photoshop is not capable of working with raw files. You can open raw file in Photoshop, and in this moment you will immediately run Adobe Camera Raw app. Like, for example, let's take some like any raw file, like this. I'm opening in Photoshop, and immediately I see Camera Raw software. And it's really important to understand that you're working with a raw file, you're working in Adobe Camera Raw software. And only when you're clicking something like open image, you're actually exporting this image and opening it in a Photoshop. And now you're working not with a raw file, you're working with a regular image, and that's a really important thing to understand. because you know, like some people is telling me something like, oh, you know, like Photoshop is so powerful tool, why you need like Caption or any other applications? Wait a second, Photoshop is a fantastic tool, but Photoshop works with like JPEG, TIFF, and other like non-RAW formats. If you wish to work with RAW, and if you will open your RAW file, then you will open it in Adobe Camera Raw. It's really important thing which you need to understand. That's why in Capture One, when you're working in Capture One, there are two ways to open your RAW file in Photoshop. Like the first way, you just like right click on the image, and then you can choose Open With. And here we can find like Adobe Photoshop, or like for example, I also like a big fan of Photo Mechanic software. Also, there are some things like a regular preview app, like Mac standard app, Helicon Focus, maybe you can also choose any other software. The feature of this tool, Open With, is that it's just opening with. It's not like exporting your edited image from Capture One to Photoshop. It's just opening this particular RAW file with Photoshop, like this. See? Adobe Camera Raw again. And why it's really important to understand, because like when you're clicking Open With, there is no chance you will save your editing, which you have already done in Capture One. For example, if you will, let's close this. For example, if you will make any editing, you know, like this, anything, like let's make like a black and white image here, like this. Now, if you will click Open With Adobe Photoshop, ta-da! You see that that's like an original RAW file. That's the feature, because like Capture One never changes your original RAW file. And when you're opening your RAW file, like it's absolutely like a virgin. It's absolutely virgin RAW file without any editing you have applied in Capture One previously. That's why if you're using the option Open With, you will open the original RAW file without your editing. And I'm pretty sure that in most of the cases, this is not the feature you're looking for, because you're looking for the tool which would allow you to open the edited file in Photoshop, maybe edit it a little bit, and then like continue to work with it in Capture One. In this case, what you have to do is to realize that for this, you need to export your file. You need to do this. You need to export it in JPEG, or like I highly recommend it to export it in TIFF format, because well, TIFF format like is much more reliable like file format. Okay, how we can do this? Like the easiest way is just like right click on the image and click Edit With. Not Open With, but Edit With. You're clicking Edit With. Now you can choose the format. And actually that's almost the standard window for with the exporting settings. You know, like pretty standard, like format, ICC profile, resolution scale, like which software to use to Open With feature and everything else. Except one little thing. You might notice that in this window there is no place to choose where to export. Like there is no place, there is no field to choose like the destination of your export. And that's really important. The point that when you're using this edit with feature and you're clicking edit variant, it exports automatically in the same place where your raw files are located. For example, in my case, in case of this particular file, the file is located, let me see, on my hard drive, and the TIFF file is also located on the export to my hard drive. But what is even more important, the TIFF file after the export, it imports into the catalog or the session where your original raw file is located. That's why if you're using the edit with feature, you're exporting your file to the place, exporting your raw file to the like JPEG or TIFF or any other format, and this new file will be saved automatically near the original raw file and will be imported inside the catalog or session, depends on the mode you're working with. And also it will be opened in Photoshop as well. And now if I will make any changes, let's change the curve, for example, here like this. I will click save, and in this moment I will see the same editing applied to my file, because actually this particular file, which right now is open in my Photoshop, as is the same file I have in my catalog. This is the idea of working with edit with feature. Like you can, for example, like how we can use it. You can just, for example, you're working with a portrait. You're making some editing. You know, like this. Like you have done, like let's pretend you have done everything. You have fixed the color. You have fixed like anything you want. And now the only issue is some skin problems. That's why you can just like edit with, edit variant. Now you can perform any actions with the skin, you know, like using much more sophisticated tools which Photoshop can offer you. Like this. Oh, not so. Yeah, let's choose. It's too harsh. Yeah, and that's also not. Yeah, you know, I'm not a big expert in retouching. Usually I have my own retoucher, but okay, let's pretend to do something. Yeah, like this. It's awful, like really awful, but you know, like you got the idea. Like what you can do with your images, you know, like to remove all this problematic skin here and there, and maybe even to work with some other things. Anyway, now you're just like saving, and you see the TIFF file near your raw file, and this file is edited. And actually, you can continue to work with it in Capture One. You can like change the colors and maybe to add some additional corrections or anything you need. But keep in mind that this particular file is not a raw file anymore. You have your original raw file, but your export file is now exported file. It's like TIFF file or JPEG or PSD or anything else. Just keep in mind that this is not a raw file anymore, and some of the features would work much worse than with a raw file. For example, let's compare how high dynamic range would affect this image. This is like my exported file, and this is the original raw file. As you can see, with the raw file, HDR works much more gentle than with the TIFF file, because like in general, Caption like engine was like developed to work with raw files, not with like TIFF files or JPEG files, because like they contain just much less information, especially JPEG, of course. Like TIFF contain pretty much information, but anyway, like Caption tools are dedicated to work with raw files. Well, that's why I highly recommend you to export your images only after all the main editing is done in Capture One. But you can use it for some pretty interesting things. For example, what you can do with this portrait. I will like create the new variant for this image, and what I will do, I will desaturate one of the variants. After this, I will work with a curve like this. You know, like the result is really strong, like really strong. This is the idea. What I am doing. You will understand this pretty soon. You see, like this. Yeah. Now I will select both of the images. Then I will click Edit With. I will edit them in Photoshop. I will copy one of the images. And now I will mix them with overlay mode. Something like that. You see? Well, that's pretty interesting thing. Now I can save this file. Yeah, and I will immediately see this in Capture One, and I can continue to work with this file. That's just like pretty interesting trick. Like, once again, keep in mind that when you're clicking like Open With, you're opening original raw file. When you're clicking Edit With, you're exporting to some format, which you can choose, but you're exporting to this format. I mean, like, you're creating the new file and you're opening the new file in Photoshop, and at the same time, this new file will be automatically imported into Capture One. And after the some Photoshop editing, you can continue to edit it in Capture One, but just like keep in mind that this new file is not a raw file anymore. Like this is a really important thing which you need to understand. Okay, this is like the first way, but also there is another way in your processing, in your process recipe settings. You can choose Open With setting. You know, like that's one of the things which I don't really like in Capture One. Sometimes I think that Phase 1 Capture One developers, they're doing some absolutely illogical things. For example, like why, if we're doing like a right click on the image and there is like Edit With and Open With, and Open With would open the original raw file. At the same time, we have Open With in your process recipe settings, and that feature would just change the software in which your exported file will be opened automatically. That's pretty strange, but okay, anyway, we just have to deal with this. You can't do anything except maybe writing to Phase 1 support, like guys, what was your thinking of? Like something like that. Like let's write them. just hundreds of us will write them. Okay. Anyway, OpenWidth, like when you're choosing any software here, you see you can also choose any other software there. When you're setting any app here, that means that after the processing, after the exporting of this file, it will be automatically opened in the chosen software. The really important thing here is, like, first of all, when you're using this option, you're only automatically opening this file in selected software. Like in our case, it will be like Photoshop. But this file will not be imported into Catalog or Session automatically. It will be just like exported to the place you have chosen. Like, for example, like let's choose any destination folder, like here, set as output folder. And now, if I will like select, for example, like this image, and I will click process, you see, like, yep, immediately I'm opening this particular file in Photoshop after the exporting, but you see no TIF file near my raw file there. Like, when you're using this option, when you're just like selecting OpenWidth in your process recipe, you're simply like choosing an app which will be used to automatically open your processed image after the processing, and this is it. Like without any additional actions like importing into your catalog or importing into your session or anything else. Just like you're exporting your file to some folder you have chosen, and also you're opening this file in Photoshop. But this method has some features. If you will, and now we're going to the Alex question about TIF format and PSD format and the difference between them. When you're working with TIF format, that's a pretty regular stuff, just a regular TIF format and nothing more. But if you have selected PSD format, now you can choose some interesting things. First of all, let's make a crop. Oh, I have set Fibonacci spiral for this. If you are not familiar with Fibonacci spiral, you have to check my previous issue, like today's issue of my newsletter. I am describing this trick. Caption has Fibonacci spiral as a type of cropping grid inside Caption. That's a pretty interesting thing. Okay, anyway, let's crop the image. And now, if you're exporting your image into PSD format, you can choose crop to path. And if you will set this setting and click process, you will see that now your crop is stored as a path inside your PSD file. That's really useful because in this case, for example, when you're sending your sending your images to, for example, to your art director or to your client or to your retoucher, to any person, you can just like, using this tool, you can just, for example, tell them like, okay, you see, like this is the full image, but I personally, I see this image to be cropped this way. Like, and you're marking this as a path, but at the same time, your retoucher would have the complete image. But at the same time, your retoucher would understand which particular cropping you personally see for this image. like this is the first interesting thing, and you need to use PSD format for this, because only PSD format is capable of storing like Adobe Photoshop layers. Also, what I can do else? Also, you can store annotations as layers. Annotation is also a pretty nice tool for communicating with your retoucher. Like here is like this annotation thing. It's also like a new feature of Caption 11. By the way, you know, like if you're not familiar with all the features of Caption 11, just go to YouTube, Alexandro, and here you will find my video overview of Caption 11, Caption Pro 11 in 10 minutes. It's a really popular video. At the moment, it has almost 75,000 of views, and like you can make maybe few dozens more or something like that. Anyway, like that's pretty short video, like less than 10 minutes, and you will find out all the features of Caption 11. Okay, and talking about the annotations, you can just draw. For example, you wish to remove something from your image and you wish to just to tell about this to your retoucher. For example, like, okay, I don't like this sign, let's remove it. Or I don't like this, something like plain. And now, when you're exporting this image, if you will mark annotations to store as layers and you're processing into PSD format, you see now your annotations are stored as a PSD layers. This is also a really convenient thing. Plus, you can store overlay as a PSD layer as well. For example, overlay in previous versions of Caption, overlay it was like completely visual stuff. You know, like only to help you to realize, like, is everything fine with your composition? For example, on your image, you can just like use overlay to overlay some things like a guides or maybe mock-ups or anything above your, to place something about you above your image. And like previously, before Caption 11, it was absolutely like only the visual stuff. But starting from Caption 11, you can also save overlay as a layer. And now if I will process this image again, you see now I have two layers. One layer with annotation and the second layer with overlay plus crop as the path, saved as the path. And also you can save a watermark as PSD as well. Let's add some watermark, like Alex on raw. You can change the scale, opacity, and anything else like this. And if you when you're choosing like as a layer, actually it's like this option like is just like a default option for PSD format. When you're processing, you see now you have 3 layers, like your annotations, overlay, and watermark. That's why if you're working with Caption 11, there is a big difference between TIF format and PSD format, like the big difference. You can store lots of information inside PSD file, and I'm pretty sure that we will see more features. I am like, you know, like I have a dream. I have a dream to see Caption layers saved as PSD layers. I think that would be a fantastic feature. Just imagine, like you can draw a layer in Caption, edit it, and then export this image as PSD, and to see this layer as PSD layer in Photoshop. What a beautiful world that will be. Okay, I'm pretty sure that it will be really nice. Okay, sorry, like if I'm pronouncing your name incorrectly. Sir had to cut the grass. Love your work. Thank you very much. Grass is a really important thing. Remember, PSD is limited to max of 2 gigabytes and TIF to 4 gigabytes. I'm not sure about 2 gigabytes. I mean, like, I think, but okay, maybe you're right, but maybe, but I think that maybe that the actual PSD format is capable of having like more information than 2 gigabytes. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you're right. I'm not sure here. That's a great thing to Google after the show. But yeah, in general, like you're right that TIF is capable to save more information than PSD. Greg is writing, thank for your tutorials, they are great. Thank you very much, Greg. And what on Facebook? Let's take a look. No comments on Facebook, guys. What's happening here? No comments on Facebook. Okay. Yeah, and this is what I actually plan to tell you today. I mean, once again, you have like there are two features to work with your to work with Photoshop and Capture One together. Like first of all, it's like right click, edit with. In this case, like your image will be exported into some format you choose, and then it will be automatically imported inside the catalog or inside the session. It depends on the mode you are working with. And you can like continue to work with your file immediately after the exporting. But in general, I highly recommend you to do all the editing before the exporting to some other format, because like in general, Capture One is like it was developed to work with RAW files, not TIF files or JPEG files. It is capable of working with these files, but most of the tools are just like that was designed to work with the RAW files. Or you can just like you can set Adobe Photoshop in the open with section of your process recipe, and you can open the file right after the processing. Plus, recently I have received like a question by email about like how to work with some plugins or how to use like Align Skin Exposure or any other popular plugins. The point is that Capture One doesn't support plugins in general. There are, as I remember, there is only one plugin. It's like this plugin was developed by Profoto Studio Lighting or something like that, because like Profoto, they're Phase One partners. That's why they have like their own plugin for Capture One. You can set your Studio Lighting settings right from Capture One. That's a pretty convenient thing. But in general, there are no plugins for Capture One. But if you're using some additional like software or some additional plugins, you can just like set them in Open With section or in Edit With section, like there, for example, like Align Skin Exposure. But I highly recommend you to try our styles. Because, for example, when you have an image, let's open some image. Let's find some. Okay, this is actually pretty nice. By the way, this guy right now is screaming. Maybe you even hear him. And let's add some styles. You know, like the feature of styles in Capture One is that they allows you to immediately see the result of your editing. You know, like just immediately. Like you can immediately see which result you will get. And if some of the styles looks like too strong for you, just like everything is really easy. Just like click to apply to a new layer, and now you can set the opacity of this particular style. I'm showing the styles I'm showing you right now are onestyles.pro film styles. You can download 12 styles absolutely for free. Let's, oh yeah, like for example, this really beautiful, old beautiful camera. Let's find some style to work. Yeah, like this. I like this look. Okay, apply to new layer. Yeah, like this and this. Yeah, few clicks. Yeah, really nice. Yeah, maybe even like this. Fantastic. Is scripting coming to Windows? Well, unfortunately, I don't have any information about this. I think there are some issues with the scripting language, but I don't know why Capture One developers are not supporting any other scripting languages except AppleScript. I don't know why, but I hope that we will see some scripting features for Windows as well, because there are lots of Windows users. Alex is asking, what about if you work with features like smart layers in Photoshop? Can you edit the file back in Capture One? No, as I remember, smart layers are not supported for not supported in Capture One, because like that's the reason why it's supported in Lightroom, because like Lightroom and Photoshop, both of them are developed by Adobe, and that's why they are capable of implementing such a things to be more synchronizable, right? But Capture One is developed by different developers. I see one comment in the chat of YouTube. I don't use Facebook. That's okay. That's okay. Honestly, I'm using Facebook mostly to run my group on Facebook. And also have a Twitter, by the way. By the way, you can go to twitter.com/Alexandra. Here you will find some really interesting news. Okay, I don't see more questions. That's why I think this is it for today. I just wish to remind you that you can always save 10% on Capture One license, on Phase One styles, on upgrades, on everything else. Just go to Phase One store, click Buy Now, then wait a little bit. Yeah. Reload the page after this. See some troubles. Open Safari browser. Copy paste the link. Now everything works. Okay, intro promotional code AMBC1 block. Click apply, and you will immediately save $29. That's pretty nice deal. By the way, the next Capture One live show will be about raw editing, and you can upload your own images to see them edited in my live show. Just go to alexandra.com/upload. Here you can upload your raw files, and I will edit them in the next episode of Caption live show. That's why if you wish to see your images edited live, just feel free to upload them. Sorry man, I just don't know how to correctly pronounce your name. I'm very sorry. I will Google for pronunciation, because I really respect that and really appreciate your that you're really active on my streams. Do you have plans to do courses that can be bought or downloaded? Actually, yes. The point is that I have a huge background of being Caption trainer. I'm Caption trainer for 8 or 9 years already. I'm running lots of courses, but not in English language. I have a huge experience of doing this. I have lots of materials for this. I can, I can talk about any topic of Caption like right as you will ask me. I have answers for most of questions which you can possibly ask me, because I am teaching Caption for many years. And the point is that the only thing I am a lack of is a practice of running lessons in English. That's the only issue, and that's why I'm doing my live shows. It's pretty difficult, and I'm just trying to improve my English through these shows. But yes, there will be a paid course which I will run online. You will not be able to download it, but you'll be able to watch it online on the website when it will be more convenient for you. And you would be also have an access to recordings of this course, but just give me a little bit of time, because I have to improve my language. I have to have more experience with this, and I will show you the great learning product. Because on the live shows, we're doing live show where I'm not it looks like I'm running some lessons or something like this, but actually I'm just guys, I'm just talking with you. I'm just having fun, and this is it. But I know how to teach Caption. I know how to do that in a few in less than 10 hours of lessons. You will become a really experienced Caption user. I just know how to do this. I'm already doing this, but just not in English language. Okay. Yeah. That's why, just maybe in the autumn, I will announce something new. But I will continue to run the live show, because I really enjoy it. Anyway, thank you very much for being there, for watching, for asking lots of questions. Each time, each new show, I see new people coming online. That's pretty great, folks. I'm really glad to see you there, and I hope to see you on the next week. Maybe it will be Tuesday, maybe it will be Thursday. I'm not sure right now. But anyway, as always, I will announce it a little bit before the show. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye.